Rika and Jessicarabbit. Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Soul Healer Podcast. It's your girl Rika and
Jessicarabbit. Hey, y'all.
What's up? Happy 4th of July week. I hope you guys had a wonderful 4th. You got to get some cookout food. We're recording this on the 4th, so we ain't had none yet. But I hope you guys had some. I hope your little animals aren't too scared if you have animals of all these pop locking and dropping out in these streets. Do you have anything planned for the 4th?
Not really. My neighbors invited us over their house for a little bit. They still bring the kids. I'm like, I don't know if I want to bring baby's kids.
And we're like, who made this potato salad?
I know, especially the youngest one. She's very verbal. But my mom is here, so we might just go over for a little bit while she's here, and
So she the one to be like, they ain't clean that house too good.
Yeah, she'll be like, ooh, why she got on that? Yeah. Can I go home? Yeah. Yes.
Well, my mom usually invites us over to a park. It's not that she owned the park, but it's a park in her neighborhood where, we will go and watch the fireworks or bust some fireworks ourselves. But my brother usually brings them up from south of the border. Mm-hmm. He ain't bringing it up this year. So I don't know what the plans are. My daughter's in Louisiana at a family reunion with her grandmother, and my son is hanging out with his aunt today for 4th of July. So who knows? I might just be chilling. I might be in the house making some shoes or something.
Yeah, we make rekadavis shoes.
So I'm gonna show y'all my shoes, right? No pop-up. They are a special guest on the show today. So I made these. These are it's denim. This is a Shein inspired shoe. Yeah. Denim. Oh, you can't see as a little, and you see my name. I got my name in the shoe.
Oh, and you got the jacket with the pearls.
I do, and it can go with the. Look at you. You talked about my jacket. You said it reminded you of your mama.
That's crazy, though. And then you got the pearls.
These are Baby Love inspired.
I love that.
Rabbit inspired. She showed me a picture. I asked her, show me a picture of your favorite shoes, and I was going to try to recreate them. So I got the little bow here. So yeah, and I just literally made these. Well, I finished them. Started finishing them. This is just something I came up with yesterday, and I did the little cork.
Yeah,
this is like the cork board, like you would hang up on your wall to put notes and stuff on. Yeah. I got the cork board from Hobby Lobby, and I just glued them together. I doubled them up. And then put like a little rubber sole at the bottom and just cut it out. It's cork board. Look at that.
She goes on her retreat. You know where we get the shoes, honey? These are made by me. Look at the in the shoes. Where the shoes to go with the pocketbook?
See, I ain't finished these yet, but I gotta get some string. I gotta get some string to finish this. I had to at least put something in there to figure out how long the string needed to be. But I was like, oh, I need some earrings to go with that.
You got a whole outfit and wait for
that. Corset, belt. Yeah. This is not the string. This is not the string. But yeah, I just been in here making shoes, watching Hulu, being here cutting shit out. But it's fun. It's meditative. And yeah, I got me a whole load of shoes and shit to take with me if I want to. I have the option. I was like, I'm going to buy at least a yard or a half a yard of material or fabric and see how many things I can make out of it. So even if it's just accessories or the shoes, or I'm just trying. And I know, Jazzy, if I ever have a class, I will let you know. You're not the only one that asks, but I got to perfect it a little bit to, because I can't be ghetto and be like, yo, just throw some glue on that shit and your fingers be stuck together.
It's all right.
That has happened.
Get some alcohol.
That has happened to me. I got that glue gone, but I was like, oh, my fingers.
I never thought of that. Glue gone. So glue gone doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
It helps to get the glue off. But it's one of the glues that I got from this company called I Can Make Shoes. And it's like it's a water-based glue, so you can use it with the fabrics and stuff like that, but not to hold the sole together. So I was just soaking my fingers in some water and it gradually came off, because it takes at least 72 hours to really set and, you know, be as firm as you need it to be so they won't fall apart. But that's just me. That's just what I be doing. Everything. But have you watched? Oh, you did watch Keyshia Cole. Okay, so we're gonna talk a little bit about the Keyshia Cole story today. A little bit about the Idol, because Jessica Rabbit did her homework and she watched a little bit of it. And then we have a main topic, which is like hoes before bros.
Yes, hoes before bros.
Hoes before bros. Before we start, we talked about Shanice Roche, about her at the BET Awards. Shout out to Shanice. We saw you like the little episode clip and everything like that. But I got a notification. I talked about ISIS, Midas Touch or something on YouTube. And I got a notification one morning saying that they wanted change.org. They wanted people to sign a petition to get Olivia and Sean kicked off of TikTok. It's like, damn.
It's serious, because like a lot of people, okay, so I watched the live last night, and this one lady, she was around our age, and she said she was a grandmother of 5 already, had a 25-year-old child, and she was trying to like defend them. And I'm like, girl, bye. Obviously, you may have been a victim of an older man because you had a baby at about 14, 15. So that's the older men do that. And she was like, oh, y'all keep doing y'all thing. They are taking money. Little girl, he said inappropriate pictures to an underage girl. They said that they believe Olivia is vexing these younger girls for him. So this is no different from Epstein and Maxine. You can go to jail, too, honey. If you're doing this to please your man, you're going to be on the episode For My Man, Fatal Attraction. You need to step away. When stuff like this starts happening, you need to go, you know what? I ain't got nothing to do with it, and walk away. I don't know if that's why Shanice walked away. Maybe she heard something in the air and said, you know what? I'm going to step out and politely bow out before this gets any worse and I get dragged into something I ain't got nothing to do about, honey.
Yeah, that's just crazy. And I think they like being on that platform because they get to pick and choose. You know, they always have that backdrop that says, my king will have blah, 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 blah. And young professional women in poly relationships. So it's like, maybe they're hoping that people will see them and be like, I want to live that lifestyle. I want to get with them. And then like they reached out to them, they'll look and see how they look. Do they look fit? Do they look this? Do they, you know, could we help them start a business and then grow from that? Like they want to be able to pick and choose. And that like that shit is crazy. Like
it is. He wants dark skin.
The petition.
I did too. I signed the petition. I signed it. He wants dark skin women. I notice he brings up a lot of dark skin women. He's always asking, will you be in a poly relationship? It's always the younger looking ones, the ones I guess he can mold, because we know, learning from the older men, they want the younger girls because they're easier to mold. Women 24, 25 and up, we have our own mind now. You're not going to tell me what to do and what not to do. So, and then now he's asking, what have you learned from watching us?
Not trusting it. Okay, well, we ain't even gonna talk about them too much, but I just wanted to bring that up, like, sign the petition.
Yeah, sign the petition, y'all, sign it.
They probably just gonna start another page, or they gonna find a way around it, or go to a different platform, because he's already on Instagram and all that other stuff too. So.
He don't do live on Instagram no more. That's the thing. He don't even go back this. I think Instagram told him, we don't want your ish.
Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, but yeah, rest wherever you are. But it's like it's always another one, and another one, and another one. But okay, whatever. So the Keyshia Cole story. It was
Yeah.
Lifetime. I got to watch it on demand through Verizon because I didn't catch it when it first came on. How do you think she did playing herself? I mean, of course, it was her life, so she should be able to play herself, but the acting wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad. I think it was more geared towards Frankie. It
Yeah.
had a lot to do with Frankie, I think. She wanted to give light on Frankie's life. My girl, Angie from
What was it? Was it All My Children? I was like, was
Yes.
it General Hospital or All My Children? Angie, I remember her. She did good.
And she did. She's like,
She did good because I did when I was younger. I watched the Keyshia Cole reality show. I watched different episodes where she was literally riding around in the streets looking for Frankie. So to see her, and then to actually see Frankie when she was living, and how I was like, you know what? She was like, I want her to play my mother. I want her to. And then the person that played Neffy, she killed that role too.
Yes. She picked really good people. Like, she did not let Lifetime mess it up like they have done for other people. You know, they said like Tom Hanks playing MLK.
Oh no.
But
I never knew her other sister, Elite.
Oh yeah, Unique. Yeah, I remember they found her on the show. She found them on the show.
Oh.
And they said that's how they found her. And then for Frankie, knowing their names of all the kids that she had was amazing. Like, she had them, they may have been taken away, but she never forgot them.
And then at first it looked like it was Keyshia Cole's son, the oldest one that was playing him, but I was like, no, that don't look like him. That didn't look like him. But I got to learn about how she connected with Nico, and he done got stabbed up recently. Did you see that in the news? Ooh, child. And then Booby.
I never know they met on the set.
Me either.
I was like, wow.
I did not know how they met. And she was carrying him. Did you see when she was a little girl and she punched that boy in the face? Like, damn, Keyshia. It was a lot of stuff that I was like, damn, she didn't talk about when she was connected with Puffy. She didn't talk about this. She didn't talk about this.
And I thought this song was about her first boyfriend. I'm like, she never talked about that song that got her famous.
It was connected to the one that ended up having a baby by somebody else.
That she thought that she was.
You think it was about him?
I do, because she was in love with him. She wanted to marry him.
Yeah, they talked about eating dinner at the table together. And that's good that she still kept up that after she became famous. She was like, the dinner I waited at the table for you. So she made that a priority for herself. Like, I grew up just shuffling back and forth with this big ass trash bag. I want to have a family. I want to.
And her adopted mom, I'm like, how are you just going to put her out because she wants to take care of her mother? Like, to me, sometimes adopted mothers can be like that. And it's not fair. You have to understand, especially if they were raised by that person was in their life, they're going to have a bond to them. And you don't want to see that person doing bad. And I'm like, to put her out because she's trying to help her mother? Come on now.
Yeah, I think that tough love, you're like, okay, if I'm a little hard on her, maybe she'll shape up and not do it. And like, she roaming the streets in the middle of the night though, looking for her, and something could happen. So it's like, you want to be protective, but then she might be like, you gonna make me mess up my money. I don't know if it was foster mom, like family. I didn't know if she was related to them.
She wasn't related. Frankie always said that, I think they grew up together. She was like, I used to sing church with her. But then that was crazy how Child Protective Services gave her that check for $14,000. Like, I guess the adopted mother never collected them.
But it was when she turned 18, but it was like Social Security or something.
I think with they probably had to change the names. I think with Child Protective Services, because sometimes when you adopt through Child Protective Services, they will give them a stipend up until they're 18. And then when they turn 18, they're either pay for them to go to college, or maybe that was her money to go to college. And they'll try to, if you're in college, I think they'll give them Medicaid up until the age of 25. Like, they try to really help these kids do better than what they had as a child, which, sometimes CPS does work out for the best. It's not always a bad situation.
Yeah. But then she had to live in that motel. She was living in that motel for years.
Doing hair and stuff. Yeah, like, I mean, you could, because Keyshia always kept it real and she never changed. She reminds me like Cardi B, like never changing because she became Hollywood. So I love that about like Keyshia and Cardi, like the ones that are just real. I'm not going to change myself because now I'm all Hollywood. No, this is me. You take me as I am. This is it. Like Mary, they don't get all,
But you can see life changed her, because even showing her as a kid, like she seemed like she was happy and singing around and talking to everybody. And then as she got older, it was just like, right.
Well, yeah,
even
I mean,
with her on what was this? What was the thing when COVID happened and they started doing the live shows? What's it called?
Oh, with the reunion?
No, like with the different singers and stuff, they were having battling, or not battling, but doing
Versus?
Yeah, Versus. When she was on Versus, like she seemed real just cold and just.
But she's hood. She's like tough. She's like, I ain't beat for this. Like, you ain't gonna be BFF and me over some, it's like she lived a hard life. So I guess she's like, I'm not gonna be too nice. You're not gonna take my niceness for a weakness.
Yeah. And she embraced her mental health, like her anxiety attacks and taking medication and stuff. So people kind of know, like, hey, I'm not out here just canceling shows. I'm not out here just acting an ass or whatever. I got shit going on. And it makes sense.
It definitely does. It does. I agree with that.
And she mentioned her finding her father, but they didn't really touch much on that.
Yeah. Because did she really find him, or?
Well, he found the.
Oh, yeah, that guy did. Yeah, I remember. Okay, I do remember that episode of him saying, and they did the test. But the other girls, Elite and I think Nephew, I don't think they found their fathers. And they have to understand it's not Frankie's fault. She was on drugs. So she was doing whatever she could do to get high. And she got pregnant. She kept yalla here. You may not know your father. But I don't understand, why haven't they done a 23andMe test or ancestry DNA test? Because if you start finding people on your father's side, you can start connecting the dots and finally, eventually, unless you're that person's only child, you can find it.
And maybe they have. They just ain't never talk about it. Or they're not in the spotlight enough for people to want to follow those stories. I don't know.
What maybe because I think, what's her name? Unique?
I thought it was Elite or something.
Elite. I'm not gonna call her Unique. Yeah, Elite. Elite. She was on that new paternity show. What was the one with the judge? Right before Frankie died.
Wow.
She was looking for her father, and I think they brought like up three or four men, and they all said no. And she said she was going to continue looking for the father for her, but then Frankie passed. So if this gets to Elite, take the 23andMe, take the ancestry DNA, somebody will pop up and you could connect the dots.
Yeah.
Simple. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know a lot of people that found their father off of that. So
I wish them the best of luck, but I definitely did follow the reality show. I think I watched, it was a Nephew and Frankie, or Frankie and Nephew, or whatever. I think I watched a little bit of that, but then I was in the streets thoughting about it and stuff. Well, no, I was older by then.
That was kids. I mean, I think our kids were in the.
Yeah, I was being a parent. I wasn't thoughting about it.
We were mothering, so we were mothering and watching that.
I wasn't thoughting about it with my husband. I don't know. But yeah, I love Keyshia Cole. I still have her CD the way it is. Like, I have it in my karaoke machine at work, so when I'm there, I can just play it. When her song, I just want it to be over. Like, I used to think I was in that video, just like on the stage, like, I just want it to be over. Okay, so, but I love Keyshia Cole. So I do love you, girl. I'm support you in the way I can. You know what I'm saying? because that's the way it is. But sticking with the music industry and just the way that things play out and trying to find your place and connecting with the right people, then we go to the idol.
Yes.
The dark side.
Yeah, so I was like, ooh, this is crazy. Like, does this stuff happen? Like, oh my gosh.
I hope not, but it might really be some truth to it. So we have The Weeknd, who plays, I always think Tetros, and the main character Jocelyn.
Awesome. Okay.
And then she has her manager, Destiny, and then we got what's his name? Hermes.
I haven't learned names yet.
Hermes or whatever his name is. So she has her crew, she has her team, but it's like she wants to be a certain type of artist. They want her to be a certain type of artist. And we see this all the time in the music industry, even with like Janelle Monáe or Solange, Pink. Like, they want you to be a certain way, act a certain way, sing a certain type of genre, but Britney Spears. But then you're like, no, I want to do my own thing. And then when the fans and stuff see it, they think, oh, you changed, or oh, you want to do this, oh, you want to be like that. Even with the Whitney Houston story, Whitney Houston wanted to sing a certain type of music, but they wanted her to sing a certain type of music, and people looked at her as a sellout and stuff. So with Jocelyn, she's like, yeah, I'm a freak. Yeah, I'm doing this, and I want to do what I want to do. So her team trying to hold her back. And then when she meets Tetros, which was a setup by one of her own girls, it's like he brings out this other side in her. But it's like that victim, that, what do you call it?
What victim?
When you're used to being abused and stuff like that, and you look for that type of
the victim bonding.
Yeah, or that trauma bonding or something.
Yeah.
Is it victim bonding or trauma?
Victim trauma, maybe trauma. And then it's also like the Stepford Wives, like you connect with those people. Like, it's like you always draw those people that are going to abuse you. They see something in you.
Yeah. And they know she has mental health issues. Like, she's crying one minute, and then she's happy another minute, and then she's smoking, and then she's drinking, and it's like they're feeding off of that.
I think they're either, a lot of them are either Geminis or they have mental health issues. Because, nothing wrong with y'all Geminis, but y'all know, you did it to me this morning. Get out of here, bozo. No, I love you.
Sweet. So, okay, we have this thing where we say good morning to each other, or send a little GIF or a little Bitmoji or something. And I was like, I heard my phone go off, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm still asleep. So I look at it, and it's like, good morning, happy 4th, whatever it was. And I was like, the Bitmoji, I thought it was funny. The Bitmoji was like, get out of here, bozo. But then I was like, just kidding. Good morning. It's like, oh, my bad. It's a Gemini thing.
Yeah, that's what y'all do. You guys hate and go, no. It's okay. I love you.
You sent me another video on TikTok with that little boy. It was like, shut up, you. What did he cuss at the man?
He's like, fuck you. And he's like, no, I love you. You going home? I heard you. He's like, no, I love you. Because that's what y'all are. Y'all, all of y'all are like that. But and a lot of people in the industry, that either Geminis or it comes out later that they had. Look at Tupac, Kanye.
Yeah. Kendrick said, I'm an old school Gemini. I give us the bad name.
Oh, y'all just.
But yeah, in the industry, you never know. But the Geminis are really creative, and we can see a star, from far away. But with them, they're like, yeah, let's showcase her mental health. Let's showcase the cuts on her leg, or the band-aids and stuff like that. Pushing.
Her feet were so bloody, and it was just like, No, why? And but I heard that my cousin was a ballet dancer, and she said that she's like, we had dancers have the ugliest feet because they push us. No matter how bad your feet hurt, you have to hit them. And I'm like, I'm not boom catting it for no one. No, see, that's why I
Yeah. And I've been at the club and had on heels before and stuff, and my feet be just throbbing and hurting and the shoes cutting into my feet. I will take them bitches off and be like, I will walk barefoot and then go clean my dirty ass feet when I get home because I'm not hurting my feet for nobody. But she has to keep dancing, keep hitting the marks, keep doing all those things, and then smiling through it and not showing any type of emotions at the same time. And I'm like, y'all see this. Y'all see it and are you okay? No, bitch, I'm not okay.
Yo, when they told her, oh, it wasn't in frame or something, I was like, oh, okay, well, you better do what you gotta do with this because I ain't doing nothing.
Her little feelings was hurt. Like, and then you trying to vet somebody else this supporting me. Like, where's your loyalty?
They don't. It's about money. Whoever can make them the most money.
That's what I'm afraid of with like the music industry, because I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to, be able to do stuff like that. But then hearing people's stories and seeing the stuff that they have to go through, and everybody don't have a Beyonce work ethic. Like, you don't even know what Beyonce be going through. She probably be going through some stuff like that and still pushing herself and pushing herself and pushing herself. But I'm just like, you never know what's going on in the background. And then when Tetros comes in, oh, pimp ass rat tail.
T. Adams.
I'm like, him and that lace front is like,
you don't like it?
It's all thin and all shaggy with the rat tail. But he comes in and she's really letting him manipulate her. And I don't want to get too far into the different episodes, but it gets worse. It gets worse. And it's like, she knows he's embarrassing her and she's letting him do it. The people around her are watching and she thinks like, this is my new family. But it's crazy.
It is. Some stuff I see that's going on TikTok remind me of that. When I was seeing some of the stuff, I was like, some of y'all need to watch this because it's your life playing and you don't see this, and they're young and they're easy to be molded, and these men prey on these pretty women and they just no, yeah.
It's sad.
It is. For the love of money.
Right. But those are our recaps for some shows. And then moving on to our topic for today, which we won't stay on it for too long, but the other day, Jessica Rabbit asked me a question, asked me for my opinion about something. Would you like to share that question that you asked?
Yeah, so I was like, so if you knew that, okay, so you had this couple and you know them, but you knew your girl you knew the guy longer than you knew the girl. Mm-hmm. And he's out here thotting and bopping and doing his 1 2 1 2. And they bring you to dinner and your man like, yo, real quick, it ain't Stacy. Say and you're like, what? So is it hoes before bros? Like, do you tell his girl that's home pregnant, he out here doing his 1 2 on you? Or do you be quiet and keep your loyalty to your man's boy? Or what, you just sit back and watch it play like, let's see how this is going to happen?
Yeah, and my response was, I've learned to mind my business. Because it's like, even if you say something, there's a chance that, one, they might not believe you. Mm-hmm. 2, they kind of believe you, but they still stay together. And then 3, now it's awkward to be around you because they might feel judged or embarrassed if they do decide to stay with their significant other, knowing that they did something. So it's like, it's kind of that thin line between Let me mind the business that pays me. Or would I want somebody else to tell me if I was in that same situation? So that's a tough one, but I think in the end, I will probably mind my business.
Yeah. I think I probably would too. I remember it was a situation and I was doing, my stalking. Like, husband knew I stalked. There is no need to try to hide it. He knew I stalked. So I rode past his boy house to see if his car was there, because that's what he told me he was going to be. And his car wasn't there. And his girl went to my husband and said, oh, she knocked on my door and asked me, was she there? And he was like, that's not even her MO. Like, she's not going to knock. I'll roll up on the hood to the corner you at and pull the window down, like, what you doing? I have chased him down the street in my car before. He knows I never said I was nice. Yes, I never said I was nice. He knows me. But then when somebody does something like that on me, then I'm like, yeah, I ain't telling you nothing. You want to play like that? You would never know. And we did get into an argument before, and I never brought it up. I'm that one girl. I would know stuff. I'm not going to throw it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Your face. I just like, if you only knew what I have in my little file cabinet that I could pull out. But yes, I mean, I guess you have to learn to mind your business. Unless, I say, if this person has something that could really hurt them, then maybe I might drop a dime or two or a nickel. Like, you need to go to the doctor. You need to put air tag in the car. Just saying, But I try to mind my business.
I've had situations like that before, but I'll try to find different things to bring up, like how I feel about something, or I may bring up a hypothetical question or a situation or scenario just to pick their brain or whatever. But in the end, I'm like, this has nothing to do with me. This has nothing to do with me. But I asked my husband, what would he do? I gave him a scenario. I was like, okay, let's say you see your boy's girl out in the street and you see her with another dude. They holding hands, they walking down the grocery store aisle or something, and you notice it. Would you tell your boy? He was like, I'm snitching. I'm snitching. I was like, you a snitch? He was like, yeah. So I said, okay, tables turn. And your boy is, like you said, bringing somebody to your house or whatever like that, or you see him with somebody else. And then his girl or wife or whatever be like, hey, I think that, such and such is cheating on me. Have you ever seen him with somebody, or do you know anything about that? He be like, did you ask him? It's like, so what if she said, yeah, I asked him and he said no? Oh, okay, well, I ain't gonna do with that. I don't know. He said no. So I'm like, so you would snitch on her, but you wouldn't give her the information? It's like, nah, that's my boy. So I was like, that bros before hoes.
Yeah, that's my husband reaction. He was like, I gave him the scenario. I was like, your homeboy that you knew, that's since second grade, but you knew his girl longer. He's cheating on her. Do you then tell her, or do you keep it to yourself? He was like, nah, it's brocode. I don't care how long I know her. If that's my boy, that's my boy. I was like, oh, Derek, so you're just gonna keep it to yourself, huh? He was like, man, that's between them. I ain't got nothing to do about it. I was like, okay, but if I was doing something, would you want somebody to tell on you, me on you? And he was like, what was that song? It was talking about he was talking about he don't want to hear it or something. Well, who sang that song? Remember that R&B song? He was like, don't tell me something. I forgot what it is. My husband's gonna laugh. He's like, you always getting something wrong. But it was something like that when R&B, so I gotta think about it. If I do, I tell you, we could pop it in later. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
But I asked my husband, I did say, well, no, my husband said, you know what? But my friends wouldn't do that. They wouldn't put me in a situation where they will bring another girl around me and then I'd be in the middle, or you would be in the middle. Like, they would never do no stuff like that. Or if it happened, I'd be like, nah, you need to stay over there with that. Don't bring that mess over here. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to be, you better find somewhere else to go. No, because then that puts me in an awkward position. Like, what if I'm around the wife or whatever? And then that puts him in an awkward position. So, like, he was like, no, my boys won't do that. My boys won't do that.
He has good boys, because shoot, I ain't
That's
saying
the same thing about pouring a shot in my mouth. He was like, no, my boys wouldn't do that. My boys would never do that.
I think his boys always saw me as one of the boys, like, Jen dope. Like, Jen don't say nothing, you know, if they ever call me Jen, because, you know, I'm just
you just made that up for you just made up your own nickname.
You know, just that hypothetical. Yeah. So I guess they always, I never said nothing. Like, I had people ask me, is she cheating on me? I'm gonna take this ring back and blah, blah, blah. And I kept my mouth shut. There was a lot of stuff that have happened, you know. I had to go buy pregnancy tests and act like it was for me when it was for other people. So, like, I never say anything. And I think they always liked that about me, that no matter what, I guess I kept brocode for them. Mm-hmm. But I just be sitting there shaking my head. Then it's like, then I would say to him, so if they doing this in front of you, what you doing in front of them? Because they feel mighty out, you know, comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just to bring any and everybody around me.
Mm-hmm. So what if it was a family member or something? Would you have that same type of energy with a family member?
Oh, yes. I've been in situations where we were brought over the other man's house, kikiing and ha-haing. And there was a situation at the family dinner for Thanksgiving. I'm not breaking bread with your hoe. Yeah, so, you know, I told you, I've seen a lot. My uncle tried to unalive my cousin and he locked me in the office and was like, don't move. And I hear, pop, pop, pop. You ever my wife?
Oh no.
Yeah. So girl, the stories I have and the situations I'm in, I'm sitting up under a desk in the office on the phone with my mother, like, yo, he out here about trying to kill him. And for the old boy, he picked me up from school and brought me there. That's how he knew he was there. He was like, who brought you here? He's like, your father didn't leave. Who brought you here? And I told him, oh, boy brought me. He's like, he's still here? I was like, yeah. He proceeds to lock me in the office and I can't get out from the inside out. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? So maybe because I was around it for so long that I just learned to keep my mouth shut. And I could tell somebody like that I knew wasn't going to say nothing, that didn't know him. But yeah, I guess I was just trained for this.
That's one thing, like with me, even with my kids, I wouldn't snitch on my kids, but I would be like, no, you're not going to talk to more than one person at one time. If you don't want to be bothered with this person, then tell them you don't want to be bothered with them. But my son is not going to bring multiple girls in my house if he's supposed to be with one person. So no, I'm going to teach him young, like, no, I don't roll like that. And if I need to, I will snitch on you. I will let that little girl like, no, you know, he's talking to somebody else too.
My mother-in-law did that in the beginning of our relationship. She met me by accident because he needed something done and she had to be there. So he was like, don't get all excited because you meet my mother. And she was like, oh, I hope he keeps you because I don't like the other girl, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. My father dry snitched too. Like, my father has dry snitched on stuff. And I'm like, yo, like, you just saying you're dry snitching. Like, what are you doing? He just looked at me like, I was like, oh, okay. This is how I'm gonna do it.
Souls too.
Yeah, like, okay, all right, just wait. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I mean, I don't think I would hold it either. I mean, I think, you know, if I've heard my daughter say stuff. I heard her at young age, which was weird. Middle school boys giving her money and gift cards, and she's like, "Oh, I don't have to do anything. They just give it to me." They're like, "Do you want something?" And she's like, "Yeah, I want a gift card," and they just bring her a gift card. I'm like, "Where are they getting this money from?" And she's just like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Oh my God." I'm like, I know, like, so. And then I told her this mom, she had this one boyfriend and she had a male friend. And she's like, well, he likes me. I don't like him. I said, but how does your boyfriend feel about you being on the phone with him? Like, what's wrong with that? There's something wrong with that. And I'm just like,
but I would want someone to tell me. So no, I wouldn't tell you, but I want you to tell me.
but so if you tell me, what am I going to do with that? Because sometimes you're like, okay, am I going to leave or am I going to get my lick back? Like, because see, I could be very tick for tack at times, which is like a very Gemini trait. And I don't know because I was around y'all a lot. I can be very tick for tack, or I hold on to it. And so I need to use it to my discretion. Then I throw that card out.
See, I don't know what I would do because I'm a little different, but I would still want to know. Because knowing me, I'd probably be like, hey, what should this like? But but I still want to know.
Yeah, and I like to embarrass people too. It's like I like to like roll up and like just ride by and look, especially if they don't know who you are. Like, who's that girl? Yeah, who am I? Huh?
You would pop up. Oh shoot. Well, let me know what y'all think. For all you guys listening or watching, is it bros before hoes? Okay, let's find one for the females. What can we say for females?
Yeah, hoes before bros.
Okay, hoes before bros, bros before hoes. Which one would you think? Like,
or you snitching.
Snitches get stitches. Like, or you either gonna be mind your little snitch ass business by yourself because that's not gonna be your friend no more. Like, it's so many things that goes along with it. But what would you guys do? Would you say something? Would you just give the nickels and the dimes and the quarters and let the person put all the pieces together themselves? Would you anonymously send them information or a message or something, or get somebody else to do your dirty work? Like, how would you handle that?
Yeah, because I got cussed out by my cousin baby mother, like, oh, you knew about this other baby. I was like, but the other baby was never confirmed. So I'm not going to say anything if the baby was never confirmed. Like, I'm not being messy. Messy Bessie.
Let us know what y'all think. Let us know what y'all think. But until next time, we're gonna cut it. We gotta cut it short. I got some stuff to do. I'm leaving. By the time you look at this, I will be in Costa Rica. So until next time, we will speak with you and see you later. Put the comments in there. Put the comments. Let us know.
Bye.